fit, formidable, and fantastic.
Hey everyone, it's Cory McCarthy and welcome to a new episode. Recently in my Facebook group, someone drew my attention to a relatively new article published on the website Natty or Not.
The article covers whether vegan bodybuilders are using steroids or not, but it doesn't stop there, but I will be responding to all of it.
Now, for those of you who do not know what Natty or Not is,
their modus operandi is clear: to call out drug use in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, especially when individuals who are enhanced claim or imply a natural status, either overtly or by omission of details, and attempt to sell you products, services, and or false hopes.
These guys predate vegan gains but have a similar agenda, without the vegan angle or mission, of course. Now that's all good and fine, although I think they walk the line of jealousy at times, which in turn lowers the standards of what is actually possible through proper diet and hard work for some readers. I mean, fuck, I get people accusing me of steroid use, which is sad, really. Anyhow, that isn't the purpose of this video. Let's continue.
They dive right in by saying that just because someone is vegan does not mean they are natural.
And I can agree with this assertion, especially since I know vegan bodybuilders who use synthetic hormones. And yes, I said no. In other words, not speculation.
However, they also use YouTuber Scooby as an example of a vegan bodybuilder here, and this demonstrates their utter lack of research. Scooby has admitted in his blog that he consumes meat once or twice a week, which wouldn't even make him a fucking vegetarian, let alone a vegan.
That kind of deals a blow to Natty or Not's credibility, at least in my opinion. They elaborate later in the same article
that if something is too big, it is not natural.
Which I can agree with, but it is relative. There are people who have considered me too big, believe it or not. A girl I once went on a date with actually said this, so it depends on who you ask, really. But yeah, if someone is IFBB pro bodybuilder level big, like Phil Heath, they're certainly using drugs. Even some fitness models are using, possibly a good number of them. But bear in mind, there's Photoshop, there's dramatic angles, good lighting, all that is at play too. But Christian Boving, a famous fitness model, admitted to his use in 2008 in the documentary Bigger, Stronger, and Faster, and that admission subsequently got him fired from his Muscle Tech contract. However, just because you turn heads does not mean you are on drugs. You can achieve a head-turning physique naturally. I have. If I had $1 for every girl who gave me lingering stares in the streets of New York City, and even some guys, I could give up my fucking day job. This is where I feel Natty or Not achieves an extreme opposite effect of what drug users selling you fantasies do. They lower your standards, and in turn, put a lot of men off even trying, instead reduce them to making excuses. But let's move forward to where the article really pisses me off as a vegan, and is flat out wrong and ignorant.
They actually move forward and imply that some vegan bodybuilders may be lying about not eating animal products.
As an ethical vegan, this really fucking pissed me off. It's actually offensive. And it was at this point that I felt I needed to rip Natty or Not a new goddamned anus and actually respond to this article.
They proceed to imply we have difficulty getting protein, and even claim that low-carb, higher-fat diets are more anabolic, and that it is difficult for vegans to properly build muscle.
First, some plant-based protein from stuff like peanuts? Really? Do you even do research before you compose an article? Do you even realize how many fucking vegan foods contain protein? From soy and soy products like tofu and tempeh, to beans, lentils, quinoa, fuck, it's even in broccoli, you bastards. Second, if you really want to do the vegan low-carb and high-fat thing, you can!
In fact, there's even a study on the positive benefits of a vegan ketogenic diet dubbed Eco-Atkins.
But that said, if you're going to do the keto route, I recommend you only use it for a short period of time due to how limiting it is as a vegan, and utilize a cyclic approach with weekly carb refeeds, in big part for the hormonal benefits. Because contrary to what Natty or Not claims about low-carb, high-fat diets,
research has demonstrated that higher-carb dieters have 36% higher free testosterone levels, 28% lower SHBG levels, and 27% lower cortisol levels versus lower-carb dieters. Furthermore, research has also shown that combining lower-carb dieting and exercise leads to an increase in cortisol levels, the stress hormone.
That is no bueno for muscle growth or retention or fat loss. And there are more studies showing these same effects on hormones from consuming too few carbohydrates.
Like this one. And this one.
Now this doesn't mean go ultra low fat either. I've recommended in previous videos, backed by research, to keep fat consistent at 20 to 30% of your maintenance calories per day, no matter where your total caloric consumption is set. In other words, if your maintenance calorie fat intake is about 56 grams a day, consume that amount regardless if you're in a caloric deficit or a surplus compared to your maintenance calories. That's just for basic health, i.e. your sexual hormone levels, your brain health, cellular integrity, vitamin and mineral absorption, hair, skin, etc. I will link a couple of those videos in the description below.
And vegans can't build muscle? Fuck off. Next, they go on about low-calorie diets that are high in protein being necessary for muscle retention while cutting body fat, and can't seem to grasp how vegans can do this.
Now, I'm not arguing calories here. You do need to be in a caloric deficit, either by virtue of diet, exercise, or both, to lose weight. Nor am I arguing the importance of ample protein intake to maintain a positive nitrogen balance for maintaining muscle tissue while dieting.
As low protein intake is associated in peer-reviewed research with a negative nitrogen balance and lean tissue loss.
I've gone over vegan protein sources previously, and there are sources that are modest in calories and high in protein, like tofu. Extra firm tofu, for instance, provides 10 grams of protein per 90 calorie serving. That's only slightly higher than the bodybuilding staple of grilled chicken breast, which contains 55 calories for the same amount of protein. It's not that much of a fucking difference.
And before anyone pipes up because I mentioned soy, based on meta-analysis, neither soy protein or isoflavones negatively impact the reproductive hormones in men.
I'm able to keep my calories modestly restricted as a vegan and still obtain 194 grams of protein per day. You just need to plan properly. It isn't fucking rocket science.
And I have no fucking problems leaning out as a vegan.
These guys really need to do their homework before writing this fucking garbage.
Finally, they accuse vegans of being dirty, that we are exploiting human animals for our rice, fruit, and nuts and whatnot.
I've said it before and I will say it again, nothing is without consequence. Nothing is without some deleterious effect. The point is, vegans are still doing the absolute best we can. We are at least fucking trying.
And that is precisely in line with the Vegan Society's definition set out for us.
And where do you think the crops fed to the animals which you consider food come from? Ultimately, there is more death and suffering on the hands of meat eaters than any vegan or vegetarian.
We do save lives annually, and the number is quantifiable. And meat and dairy agriculture is absolutely fucking our planet.
So yeah, you can call the vegan diet dirty, but there's far more dirt on you, buddy. At least we're trying. What the fuck are you doing? It's easy to sling mud and make excuses. So much easier than growing a fucking pair of balls, putting your foot down, and taking action. Just like it's easier to make excuses and sling hate on those putting efforts in the gym than it is to put that effort in yourself and see what you can fucking produce naturally. I get the impression the writers of Natty or Not are the weak and whiny type. It's pathetic, really. Well, that's it. The article stops there. I hope this episode has been both informative and eye-opening. Do feel free to drop comments below and open up some dialogue. And with that, I will see you all in the next episode. Till then, my friends.